Okay, we're back once again with the wheel. I did add two more names I forgot to add, which is the Shyster Cabbie and the Yankee truck. So, the Cabbie is basically just a minivan, but it isn't featured in any other game after 4. So we're going to review that as well. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, Roman's Taxi. Okay. We're going to cover Roman's Taxi and the base model Esperanto in this review. I actually really like this car, so... And I'm pretty sure most people are pretty familiar with Roman's Taxi and the Esperanto, so this is going to be definitely a fun review. 1984 Albany Esperanto, the official car of...
I will find you, and I will kill you.
Niko, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
I want to go bowling. I want to go bowling. I want to drive this car and take fares for Roman. I want to go bowling. I've got to go bowling. 1984 Albany Esperanto, the official car of that uncle your mom told you not to talk to. You know the one. The one that hits the sauce a bit too hard, and whew, when he does, he gets a bit political.
You know, this Kanye West fella should have been president. Maybe then we all feel a bit better about ourselves.
While the Woodard Marbell may be the grandpa car of GTA 4, the Esperanto is the car for the middle-aged man. Not quite hitting boomer levels of age, but also not old enough to hit a midlife crisis. The Esperanto has been the first car I've looked at in my quote-unquote vacation, if you could call that, in Liberty, that was featured in more than one game. The Esperanto has been around since GTA 3 and looked drastically different to its HD counterpart. From 3 all the way up until Vice City Stories, the Esperantos always resembled a 10th generation Cadillac Eldorado. In fact, it was even featured in one of the mobile games, GTA Advance, which nobody really talks about actually, which is weird because it wasn't even that bad of a game. But I don't know. I guess handheld games don't get as much street cred as the full-fledged console ports, I suppose. But hey, that's just my opinion. The quote-unquote modern version of the Esperanto, according to the wiki, was based on a bunch of different vehicles, including a 7th generation Lincoln Continental for the rear of the car, a 82 to 83 Chevy Malibu for the grille and headlights, a 7th generation Pontiac Bonneville for the taillights, with the overall shape resembling a 2nd generation Cadillac Seville. Now, for once, I'm going to actually ignore the wiki and go on to say this car reminds me a lot of the tremendous flop from GM known as the Cadillac Cimarron, a rebadged disaster of a car. I won't get into too much detail, but basically it's an up-badged Cavalier with not much else to offer. So the more I do these reviews, I tend to look up a lot of cars and find out a lot of cool information. And the stuff I find about GM over the past like 60 episodes or so, I've realized that GM is just some old boomer that refuses to change, refuses to upgrade. It's like that old guy who doesn't want to upgrade his phone, so he uses the flip phone from 10 years ago, whatever. But what I remember reading about the Cimarron was it was a slightly better Cavalier, like it had a nicer interior, but for what you paid for, it wasn't really worth it, because you still had the same dopey Cavalier engine options. You had the 1.8 or 2.0 liter inline 4, which had a laughable 0 to 60, And then of course you had the 2.8 liter V6, which, you know, that's pretty good, I guess. And when it would have been cooler if they had a 3.8 liter V6 later down the line, when they had, like they had in the Sabre, but no, they didn't do that because GM. But you could have had an optional 4 or 5 speed manual. I'm assuming they offered a 4 speed in the beginning and offered a 5 speed later, but they only offered a 3 speed automatic. And I'm just thinking, you know, 3 speed automatic, that's decent for like early age, like 82 to like 84. But this was produced until like 89, 88, you know. And I'm just thinking, a 3 speed auto in 88. Oh, I'm assuming they have overdrive, but they probably didn't. So that's a yikes for me right there. Alright, moving on back to the game. The Esperanto, according to the model in-game, is powered by a single overhead cam V8 with in a longitudinally mounted configuration. Unlike the Cimarron, the Esperanto is rear-wheel drive and is paired to a 5-speed gearbox. However, just like the Cimarron, the performance is somewhat lacking, at least if you got the 4-cylinder option, I suppose. Acceleration is very poor and top speed is equally so. However, the car itself handles quite well due to its lack of power and torque. You don't need to worry about too much oversteer. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to hear about the special version of this car, only known as Roman's Taxi. Otherwise known as the car Roman drives around for the early missions until...
I've got nothing left! Not my home, not my business, nothing! They took it all!
I'm sorry, Roman. I'm really sorry, but we have to go.
Now, to be honest, the only difference between Roman's Taxi and normal Esperanto is the red/yellow taxi emergency lights affixed to the front and back, taxi registration number on the trunk, and advertising on the rear bumper and window, and a custom red interior. The only other difference is the miscolored front fender on the driver's side of the car as well. Funnily enough, however, Roman's Taxi handles a bit differently from the stock Esperanto. While the acceleration remains the same, top speed is a tad bit faster. We went from 75 miles per hour to 87. Ooh, almost a whole 10 mile per hour difference. Well, there you have it. 1984 Albany Esperanto, the official car of bowling. Cousin, I do not wish to go bowling. What cousin? I am your cousin. I just go bowling. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. I ran out of script. I kind of dropped the ball a bit in the last part of the script here, but it's fine. You know I like to ramble a bit afterward. So yes, I'm aware the Albany Esperanto technically exists in GTA 5, but it literally is in like 1 or 2 missions in the game. You know, now not gonna lie, the police Esperanto from GTA 5, I like it. It looks really fucking cool. I remember I saw a mod for like a detective one that was like undercover and stuff. I thought that was like really freaking dope. But yeah, this car is kind of a little weird. Like, I remember driving this car. I remember Roman's Taxi being one of my favorite cars in the game, actually. I think it's because I just liked the engine sound and it looked like a grandpa car, you know? Like, it looked delightfully 80s and I just loved it. So, and this is before I was into cars really a lot, so. But yeah, there you go. There's a video, 84 Albany Esperanto, the official car of cousin. Let us go bowling. No, cousin, I do not wish to go bowling. I need to make this video. Goodbye, cousin. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.